In this video we're going to look at the light shadows on the memorial and how we can create a base that gives the impression that there's light falling on the top of the memorial but not on the front face here. So you can see that it distinguishes between the upright and the memorial base, and it allows us to give the impression of 3D viewing. So if we open up the bases, and I'm just going to open up the 2'6" base. It says it's got granite fills. Now I'm not going to restore them, I'm just going to show you what the actual objects are within this particular file. So over on the object browser I have 3 objects. I have a curve, which is the top piece, and that has a granite fill within it. We have what's called the margin, or just a rectangle on the front, which again has a granite fill in it, and then we have this curve at the top with what's called a lens or a transparency applied to it. And that is actually white. We'll come into that in a little bit more detail. So let's have a quick look at this first. This object here with the lens on it. So I said it's white fill. If I just remove the transparency, so I'm going to click the transparency tool, and we can see that we have a transparency of 80% applied to that. If I just click up here and remove the transparency, we'll see that actually this object is white. I'm just going to put an outline around it by right-clicking the black there. And you can see that the object is actually white, and by adding a transparency onto this particular object, so I'm just going to add a uniform transparency, you can see that we can take it from a white object to being completely transparent, and we can now see the granite fill behind there. If you haven't looked at granite fills and the like, then go and have a look at that video which covers the changing of the materials into granite. So by having it pure white, it would appear as though there was no granite there, but by adding this transparency we can give the impression of a lightening to the granite, which would be the effect that you would have if light was falling onto the granite. So each of these bases is made up of 3 different objects. There's the front, there's the piece on the top, which is that one, which is granite fill, and then we've got this transparency, which is a white transparent layer, which then gives the impression of light falling onto the memorial. If I just choose the pick tool, and I'm going to select these 2 objects here, and I'm just going to click to there and add black, then you can see the impression here that is gained from having that transparency. And by adjusting the level of the transparency, we can adjust how much lighter the top of the granite appears compared to the front. And all that means is it's just the amount that the memorial, when you drop on top, if I just put a memorial on top of that a second, so bring that one in, and I'm just going to fill that with black as well. So you can see how this transparency, if we have no transparency at all, the memorial head just fits into the base. About 80% seems to be about the right sort of level here. And you can see that you can now see the differential between the headpiece and the base.